Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the video. So we have a crazy week ahead in the stock market. We have the election, we have the virus cases going up, we have so much crazy news coming out, and there's just so much unknown in the market right now. So in this video, I'm going to be going over my election plays, what I plan to do in each situation, what I plan to do leading up to the election, and just my overall play on the election in the stock market. So without further ado, let's get into it. So it's impossible to know who will win the election. Nobody can predict that. It's so unknown right now. It could go either direction. So leading into the election, Wall Street does think that Biden does have a slight edge. So Biden's stocks have kind of ran up and have some of Biden win priced in. But of course, it's not all the way priced in, and Trump stocks are not priced in if he wins at all. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the Trump stocks and the Biden stocks that I personally plan to be playing. And I do not plan to hold any election stocks through the election, just since we have no idea who's going to win. You could hold Biden stocks betting on a Biden win, but what happens if Trump wins? Those stocks are going to tank. You could hold Trump stocks through the election. What happens if Biden wins? Those stocks are going to tank. So to play it safe, I will not be holding any election stocks through the election, Biden or Trump, and I'll plan to play these after the election. Now, what I've been doing is playing the run-up of Biden stocks, reason because Wall Street does think that Biden does have a slight edge to win. So the Biden stocks have been running up. I have been playing that run-up, but I will be selling before the election happens, just because you got to buy the rumor, sell the news, don't hold through the event when you don't know for sure what's going to happen. So first off, let's take a look at Trump stocks, and these are stocks that I will be playing if Trump does win the election. I'll plan on getting into these the morning after the election and just go pretty heavy in these stocks because I do think they will benefit heavily if Donald Trump does win the election. So let's look into these. So first off, if Trump does win, the big blue cap stocks are going to benefit heavily because of his tax regulations and everything like that. The stock market has performed great in the past 4 years under Donald Trump, and we would expect that to continue. The Wall Street and the stock market just hates uncertainty. Biden coming into the office creates uncertainty, which will most likely cause a lot of fear and possibly some selling off. But the big positive catalyst behind Biden winning is there is a higher chance of a big stimulus package coming later when Biden does take office. But overall, the best case scenario for the stock market as a whole would definitely be Trump winning, but there are positives and negatives to both candidates. So let's look into the Trump stocks. So first off, my big plays on Trump winning, I would go heavy into blue chip stocks. So my two favorite plays on the big tech giants are Amazon right now. I love the price in the low 3,000s or high 2,000s, and Facebook, ticker symbol FB. So these two tech giants are the ones that I believe have the best value and upside potential. Amazon has a lot of growth in front of it. Facebook has a ton of growth in front of it as well. And we could take one like Apple, for example. Apple has a lot of upside already priced in, and it is already trading for a very high valuation. Now, I think Amazon and Facebook, they don't get hurt too bad by the virus if it does increase, so that's what I like about them the most. Amazon actually benefits heavily. And yeah, I just believe that these two have the best risk-reward potential in the tech giants, so I'll be going heavy buying the dip on these, especially if Trump does win. So the first specific Trump stock that if he wins will benefit heavily is GEO Group, ticker symbol GEO. So GEO is one of the largest publicly traded prison landlords. So Joe Biden has pledged to end the use of private prisons at the federal level, and others in his party have taken the sentiment further. So if Biden wins, this stock will most likely tank even more, but take a look at this dividend. So it has a dividend yield of nearly 16% even after it cut its October payout by 29%. But if President Trump does manage to pull off a second term, GEO Group might be one of the best stocks to buy for a rapid rebound. So we can see that GEO is down so much year over year, and this is in anticipation that Joe Biden does have a chance to win the election. So if Joe Biden wins, GEO Group will most likely tank a lot further, but if Donald Trump does get elected again, this stock will most likely take off, and I'll be planning on going heavy in this one. So what are going to be some of the biggest beneficiaries of Trump winning because of taxes? The big banks. My favorite big bank play is JP Chase, ticker symbol JPM. This is definitely one that I'll be looking to a long-term position. I love the price anywhere under $100. And yeah, I'll be looking to make a long-term position in this one. Another quick trade that I'll be looking at is Wells Fargo, ticker symbol WFC. So this company has definitely been struggling in the short term, but it is at such a low valuation here. I do think it would be in for a pretty big balance, especially if Donald Trump was to win. So if this was to happen, I would get into some Wells Fargo, play the balance, but I would not be in this one long term like I believe in JP Morgan. Another one that I do like is Bank of America, ticker symbol BAC. I kind of like this one in the middle between Wells Fargo and JP Morgan. So Joe Biden's biggest message behind his presidency is he wants to make the energy resources more renewable. So what would happen if Joe Biden wins? The renewable resources would take off and the oil stocks would tank even further. So what would happen if Trump wins? These oil stocks would bounce back heavily just from the belief that Donald Trump is not doing anything with oil. Oil is going to be here to stay, especially if Trump does win. Exxon Mobile Corporation, ticker symbol XOM. This is down absolutely massive year to date, down over 50%. This is one that I would love and would go heavy in it if Donald Trump does win the election, as I do think it's so oversold. It'd be down for a huge balance, possibly over $40 if Trump was to win. So another play on energy would be coal. As we know, this is not a renewable resource, and this would be hurt as a sector if Biden was to win. So thermal coal tends to be under the heaviest fire because it can generally be replaced by greener alternatives, which Biden would most likely do. But if Trump was to win, coal would be here to stay, and what would be the big beneficiary of this? Arch Coal, ticker symbol ARCH. Oversold heavily. We could expect a big bounce if Trump was to win. And obviously I'd be getting into this one as a quick swing trade. And all of these stocks, I would like to get in the morning before the election if Donald Trump was to win. And these stocks will most likely run up for the next week or so after a Trump win. So a quick recap on the Trump stocks. The order that I'd go most heaviest would be, first of all, Amazon and Facebook. I would like to build out a very good sized long-term position in those. And then I'd like to get into some Exxon Mobile for a swing trade, about a month or so swing. I do think this could run up past $40 if Trump was to win. Chevron and Exxon Mobile, great plays in my opinion. And then we got GEO Group, Arch Coal, and the big banks. I do like all these plays, and I'll be planning on getting to these if Trump does win as soon as possible. Probably pre-market, I'll be getting to these stocks. Now scenario number 2. If Joe Biden wins presidency, what is my personal play on this? Let's take a look into it. So like I was saying, Joe Biden's policies are absolutely massive on renewable energy. So what are my favorite stocks in this sector? Let's take a look. So my favorite renewable energy stocks, first of all, Brookfield Renewable Partners, ticker symbol BEP, very solid company. But as you can see, all of these stocks have run up anticipating a Biden win, which does equal so much more downside if Trump was to win. So for that reason, of course, it's not smart to hold through the election in case a Trump win does happen. But these should be having a solid run up for the next month or so if Biden does win, as a good amount is priced in, but the full upside is definitely not priced in. So BEP is one that I like a lot. As you guys know, NextEra Energy, ticker symbol NEE. First Solar, ticker symbol FSLR, one of my favorite solar stock. And then Enphase Energy, ticker symbol ENPH. These are probably my 2 favorite solar companies that I've looked into. There's also the cannabis sector. We know that Kamala Harris wants to legalize all over the place. We also do have some votes coming up for states to legalize cannabis. So my big play on this would be Canopy Growth Corporation, ticker symbol CGC. You can play some of the lower caps such as Tilray, Hexo, but personally my big play on this would be Canopy Growth, as it is just the best company in the sector in my personal opinion. So renewable energy also goes along with the electric vehicle sector. I do think that the EV sector will go on a run pretty soon here, and a lot of these stocks have gotten beat down massively and are due for a pretty good sized short squeeze in my opinion. So 2 stocks have been beaten down absolutely massively that I do believe when the EV sector does get hot, these stocks will go on a massive run and have a short squeeze. So these 2 stocks is Hyliion, ticker symbol HYLN. As we know that this company can adjust ice trucks by just clipping on their product and making it into an EV. So very solid business model. It is shorted over 30%. When this does pop, when it does hit the bottom, I do expect this stock to run up in a big way, and I'll be adding heavily when we do get that confirmation of a bottom. Next up is Workhorse, ticker symbol WKHS. So this stock is one of the most volatile EV stocks in the market. Has been on an absolutely crazy run all the way up to $30 from $2 earlier this year. And now it's down 50%, sitting at $15 per share. Now this is also heavily shorted. It will go on a massive run when the EV sector does get hot again, which is what I'm predicting. So watch for this one, watch for a bottom, and watch for a run up back to $25 plus when it does have a run. It is heavily shorted as well. So obviously the biggest play on the EV sector as a whole is Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA, the industry leader. They also have the solar business, so this company would benefit heavily off of a Biden victory. Now it is trading at such a high valuation, but Tesla, as you guys know, is one of my favorite stocks to trade short term. So I think we could get a pretty solid short term pop, some pretty solid volatility to play off of. And yeah, Tesla is probably my favorite stock to just trade off the volatility. So volatile, the premiums are so high on options. You can flip these options pretty quick for a nice size profit. Now we'll be looking to do that. At this valuation, I'm not sure I'd be buying in to hold long term, but I do love this one as a swing trade, as a day trade, and just playing off the volatility and hype, especially for a Biden victory. Now, I do think that Tesla would also benefit off a Trump victory just because the stock market as a whole would love a Trump victory. So Tesla is set up to benefit on both directions no matter who wins. Just the one thing that gives me a pause is the valuation. So this is more of a trade for me, not a buy and hold stock. So a very interesting stock that would benefit if Biden does win is Martin Materials, ticker symbol MLM. So this is a building materials company that specializes in the materials used in large construction projects. Among other things, it makes crushed sand and gravel products, ready mixed concrete and asphalt, and paving products and services. So why would this benefit if Biden wins? So a key plank of Joe Biden's platform is his Build Back Better plan, which includes pledges to mobilize American manufacturing and build a modern infrastructure. So MLM would benefit heavily off of this. Now, it has had a huge run in anticipation of a Biden win, so a good amount is already priced in, but this would benefit heavily if Biden does win anyways, and we could see a run into the $300 range. So also an interesting benefit if Biden wins that people are not realizing is the REIT sector. So my favorite play in this sector is just a safe, diversified one, which is Realty Income Corporation, ticker symbol O. So this is down a very good amount in the past couple months, so we can take a look at why this would benefit if Joe Biden wins. So REITs were an unintended casualty of the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. So Trump's signature tax reform lowered the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%, which was great for traditional corporations, but it made special tax shelters like REITs less attractive by comparison. REITs are not required to pay federal taxes as long as they distribute 90% of their profits as dividends. So if Joe Biden was to raise this federal tax, Realty Income would not be hurt like a lot of people are expecting. So this is kind of under the radar if you want to get into a long-term position that's not going to be hurt by a Biden election. Realty Income is pretty safe with over 4% dividend. It's all a long-term play. Of course, it's not going to have any crazy upside. It's not going to be a huge runner or anything like that. So the final stock I'm going to be talking about is one of my favorite stocks in the entire market. And no surprise here, Rocket Mortgage, ticker symbol RKT. This is now one of my biggest positions, and stay tuned. This is going to be one of my top stocks for this week. Hint, hint, video out later. Rocket Company's ticker symbol RKT has been hit massively in the past couple months. It had highs of $35, but it is now trading near the IPO price and it's right around $18. So why in the world would Rocket Mortgage benefit off of a Biden presidency? Let's take a look. So first of all, how does Rocket Mortgage make their money? They make their money off more home sales and they sell these contracts to other lenders and everything like that. So as president, Joe Biden will invest $640 billion over 10 years so every American has access to housing that is affordable. So providing financial assistance to help hardworking Americans buy or rent safe, quality housing, including down payment assistance through a refundable and advanceable tax credit and fully funding federal rental assistance. So what does this mean? This means there's going to be more home sales as the Affordable Housing Act is most likely passed with Biden as president, equaling more home sales, which equals more revenue for Rocket Mortgage. And Rocket Mortgage is crazy undervalued in my opinion. It's not valued as a financial tech company like I believe it should. It just has so much growth potential. The real estate sector is going crazy right now. I'll have some more DD in my video out later, but this may just be one of my favorite stocks to buy as a mid/long-term play at this valuation. I believe that the upside is enormous. So those are all my personal plays on the Biden winning scenario. So some other plays you can get into is the solar ETF, which is TAN. There's a bunch of renewable energy ETFs. And just in the scenario if Joe Biden does win, I'll be getting into my renewable energy positions once again the morning after and loading up for potential week of running up by the renewable energy sector as a whole. But like I was saying, a lot of it is already priced in my opinion, so the upside is not crazy. These are not long-term holds at the moment for me. So those are my plays on the Biden and Trump victories. And once again, I'll not be holding any of these stocks through the election. I'll just plan on getting in after the election does happen. So if you guys are interested in joining the private stock group, that link is down below. If you want to get 3 free stocks on Webull valued up to $1,600, that link is down below as well. Those are affiliate links. Also, if you want to get some free money on Coinbase, Acorn Investing, I do have some affiliate links. I would greatly appreciate it. That does help support the channel. And thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. It does help me out a lot. And thanks so much, guys. Good luck to everybody this week. And let's get rich.